Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this, you're probably my friend and I sent it to you, so thank you very much for watching it. And if you're not somebody that I know in real life, also thank you for watching this. I'm Bailey, and here I yap about whatever I want to talk about. So I figured before the year's over, I gotta be able to finish Summer McKinney and her journey. So today we're gonna talk about Summer Gets to Work, the second book in her collection, which for some reason, was never on American Girl's website. I had to buy it through Barnes and Noble or something. I don't remember. And if you're looking at my doll and thinking, that's not Summer McKinney, you're right. This is Jennifer, and she's my doll. She is wearing Summer's pajamas, and they're so stinking cute. I'm going to take one of her slippers off so you can see that they have little puppy faces on them. That's so fun. I'm going to do this book in order that it happens because the plot, it's really just the one plot line. Summer Gets to Work was written by Claire Hutton, and it opens with a bulletin board explaining who everybody in Summer's family is. The book starts with Summer's friend Daisy explaining how to trim cat nails because you may recall she got a cat, Daphne. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't remember Daisy from the last book, you're right. That's absolutely true. Daisy was not in the last book. She was introduced in this one, and Summer said that she goes to the same school as her but is in a different class, so they didn't really become friends until recently. They were at the same craft fair from the end of the first book. It feels like a record, but whatever. Update from last book, Daphne and Crescent are getting along fantastically, and Summer is making dog treat cookies to sell at Aunt Olivia's store. Remember Gay Aunt Olivia? We love Gay Aunt Olivia. And Daisy's there, but she's not super helping. Daisy has a lot of ideas for Summer's business, but when she suggests it, it doesn't sound like a suggestion. It sounds kind of a little bit more like a command. You should instead of what if you. And Summer, because she's new to running a business and Daisy's not, Summer thinks that she should just do whatever Daisy thinks. And this comes up a lot throughout the book. Summer is saving up to go to an animal camp and tells Daisy about it. And Daisy says that she wants to go too. But Summer made a deal with her parents that she's going to pay half of it at $600 to go, so she needs to find $300. So that's why she's making cookies to sell and trying to find more dogs to walk and groom. Her half is due by the end of the year, and as of the day that this is going to get posted right after this, she says today's November 12th. They decide to kind of cross-pollinate their businesses. Daisy makes cat toys that she sells, so she'll start making dog toys, and Summer's going to start making cat treats. And they like to express their friendship through cat language, so once they decide to go into business together, they slow blink at each other. This is definitely a neurotypical friendship. Daisy and Summer make some tuna cat treats, and they're stinky and gloopy and not particularly fun to make, and Daisy reminds Summer that she has to use a smaller cookie cutter because cats are smaller. It makes me wonder if Summer forgot that small dogs exist. And first thing she does once they're cool is give one to Daphne to try, and Daphne doesn't like it. In fact, she buries it like it's poop, but Crescent likes it. Summer explains her lame nicknames to Daisy, how she's Vacation and her sister Holly is Mistletoe, so Daisy makes up her own nickname. That's how nicknames work. What does she go with? Garden. But don't worry, it's never used. Daphne steals one of their cookie cutters. Then Summer goes and volunteers at the animal shelter. I think Fiona is honestly a fantastic influence on her. She gives great advice. She's a good listener, very understanding. And she tells Summer that she'll send her a different cat treat recipe and tells her don't be upset that Daphne didn't like it. Cats are just picky sometimes. They all like different things. And then this is not super plot relevant yet, but Summer tells Fiona that Daphne will open her bottom drawer and take all of her socks out and then climb in it. Why are her socks in her bottom drawer? Okay, if you keep your socks in your bottom drawer, I'm not trying to offend you. Cancel me now. Create a scandal. Call me out. Make a video calling me out. And we will boost each other's engagement if you keep your socks in your bottom drawer. I have always kept mine in the top drawer with my bras and my underwear. I can't imagine putting those in the bottom. That's for pants. Summer's dad helps her put up more flyers to try to get more customers for dog walking and grooming, and they get a new customer almost right away. It's a woman named Mrs. Kendrick. Mrs. Kendrick fell and broke her arm and needs help with walking and grooming her little dog named Pepper that Summer already knew because Pepper's from the shelter that she volunteers at, which that's really sweet. Pepper is an anxious dog, so we get a lesson in the book from Summer about how to greet an anxious dog, and she's not going to join the normal dog group. There's a couple dogs that walk all together just yet. And Summer explains that Pepper just needs to be around other dogs to build confidence. So they'll start with Crescent. Oh, yay! I'm a sacrifice! And you know what? I'm really glad that Summer brings an adult with her every time she meets a new potential client. Gay Aunt Olivia comes to Friday Night Fun Night. They're playing board games. We'll just call it Friday night. I don't consider board games to be fun. Except for Crokinole. I love Crokinole. But only with a drink in hand. I'm so bad at it when all I drink is soda. We get a fettuccine mention. Fettuccine played a major role in the first book and is mentioned like twice in this one. And Daphne steals game board pieces. Game board pieces. Board game pieces. Gay Aunt Olivia is going to help Summer make Holly's Christmas gift. She's going to knit a headband with a flower on it. And I think it's kind of strange that she's learning how to do it from a picture and not a pattern. I love to crochet, and that is some of the first things that I ever made were those little headbands. And I did make some for knitting. I don't know where they are now, but I haven't knitted in a while. But I do know you need a pattern. Gay Aunt Olivia should teach Summer how to read a pattern too, not just how to knit. And then Daisy calls Summer because she's cat sitting and was supposed to go over to somebody's house to feed a cat, but she won't be able to make it. So she asks Summer if she can do it. So then Summer agrees to it because she's not very good at telling people no, and then asks Aunt Olivia if she'll go with her because, again, she brings adults to new places. And Aunt Olivia says yes. And when they get there, so the cat is named Mickey, they open the door. It's really dark. They turn the light on. They put food in the bowl, but they can't find the cat. So then they start looking for the cat around the house. Can't find it. Think maybe it got out while they had the door open. So they're trying to find it. They call Summer's dad and he helps and he finds a cat. And then they read its tags and it's the neighbor's cat. So Summer asks Daisy what Mickey, the right cat, looks like, and it's a black and white cat. And then Daisy says, oh, wait, I forgot to, he likes to hide under the sink. And it was there the whole time. And now they have run out of time to knit. But Gay Aunt Olivia says that she'll help Summer when she sees her next week for Thanksgiving. Also, Gay Aunt Olivia's bracelet is missing. It was stolen by Daphne. Daisy has a black and white cat named Licorice, and I do not believe that that's a coincidence. I feel confident enough to say that that's an homage to our homegirl, Licorice, our trans icon, Coconut's bestie. Daisy admits that she should have told Summer about Mickey's hiding spot and offers to help with walking dogs to make up for it, but Summer suggests that they do the upcoming craft fair together. It's like a holiday craft fair. Daisy's cats loved the stinky tuna treats, and Summer helps Daisy make braided dog toys out of cut up like strips of old t-shirts. And then while I was sitting there, because they're talking about how they want to be like vets, work with animals, groomers, I think Summer should get to meet Kira, who also wants to be a vet, but kind of a more exotic vet. But I think they'd get along great for their love of animals. Summer talks about wanting to learn about animal nutrition, and I don't think that's a phrase I've ever heard a 10-year-old say. It is because she makes treats, but still. Daisy tells Summer that she thinks she should change the name from Waggy Pup Tails to Waggy Pet Tails because she makes treats for cats now too. And Summer thinks maybe she should listen to Daisy because Daisy has more experience, but also everything is branded Waggy Pup Tails. Her flyers, her t-shirt, the banner on her little cart for markets. So she's feeling unsure of herself. Pepper and Crescent meet and it goes very well. And Pepper's owner had actually recommended Summer to one of her neighbors. Now she has another client and all of the dogs meet. Gay Aunt Olivia comes over for Thanksgiving and Summer has a great time. And they do get a chance to work on Holly's gift. Daisy helps Summer walk all of these dogs and Summer gets to teach Daisy about dog behavior, which is a fair trade because Daisy's been teaching Summer about cats. When they get to the dog park, Daisy plays inside the fence with all the dogs except for the new one. The new one is named Chesapeake and takes videos of them playing with her toys and Summer takes Chesapeake for a walk around the outside. Daisy accidentally riles up Chesapeake, and he runs into the bushes and ends up covered in burrs. Summer has to explain to Daisy how they ended up in this situation, and Daisy thinks they can get more money for grooming now, and Summer's like, no, like, we got their dog dirty. We can't charge them for solving a problem we created. Daisy's not very good at doing things for a long, sustained period of time, so she kind of wanders off while Summer finishes grooming Chesapeake. And at the end of all that, Summer says that things didn't go how she planned, but at least she still had fun. Gay Aunt Olivia tells Summer that she sold out of the dog treats at her store and orders more. Mickey's owner, remember the cat who hides under the sink? Mickey's owner ordered some of the stinky tuna treats. So Summer makes a plan to make all of these cookies treats during the week. And she has to do it during the week because this weekend is the big Christmas cookie baking party that they always do at Gay Aunt Olivia's house. So Daisy says that she'll help Summer make the cookies. Daisy has a lot of opinions about how Summer decorates and packages cookies, and all of her suggestions are cost-cutting measures like less ribbon, no cute sticker, just regular sandwich zipper plastic bag, and that makes Summer feel a little bit insecure. And then the next thing Daphne steals is one of Summer's hair clips. Summer goes to older sister Holly for advice, and Holly tells her, it's your business. You're in charge. Remember, you're the boss. Summer is feeling really overwhelmed with so much on her plate, so her mom helps her figure out what she can let go of, and they decide on volunteering, and she's really upset about it, and she goes to Fiona to tell her, like, I have to pull back, and Fiona's very understanding and explains sometimes she takes breaks or reschedules her hours because Fiona's a college student, so during exams is when she pulls back a little bit so she can succeed in other places. Again, I like Fiona. I wish she had a bigger role in these books because she's a great influence on Summer. The night that Summer and Daisy are going to go grocery shopping, Mrs. Kendrick calls and says that Pepper got into the compost and is really stinky and, like, SOS, needs an emergency bath. Offers to pay double Summer's normal rate for them to come out and clean it right now. Summer asks, can I bring my friend with me? And Mrs. Kendrick says yes. So they go there instead of the grocery store, and Pepper is stinky. It takes a couple of tries, but finally he's clean. And then there's like a whole bit about brushing his teeth. I've never brushed my dog's teeth with toothpaste the way that Summer describes. They get like dog treats that are supposed to do that. But Daisy ran out to go grab the toothpaste and left the door open. So Pepper runs out, knocks over a potted plant, gets covered in dirt. He has to take another bath. But Mrs. Kendrick is very understanding about the pot. She's like, listen, I got a chaotic dog. Things like this happen. You didn't break the pot. My dog did. And by the end of it, everybody is soaking wet. Daisy has stopped really helping with the dog part of it and cleaned up the potted plant, and they have run out of time to grocery shop. Bummer. So now we have to replan, reschedule, and their schedules don't quite line up until grocery shop Friday, which means baking on Saturday, which also means missing the first day of the cookie party at Gay Aunt Olivia's house. But Summer's mom agrees to stay behind to help. Summer decides to approach this big cooking day the way that her family would and cues up music and decides what order they're going to go in. And the music she plays is Taylor Swift, and this feels significant. I don't recall other times where specific artists are named in these books, so that's something we'll keep an eye out, as an ear out for, with the other girls of the air. Summer has a hard time with Daisy because, unlike the rest of Summer's family, Daisy doesn't know where stuff is. She's always in the way. She makes a batch of dog treats wrong, so then they have to redo it. Unfunny joke. Daisy is bad at decorating the dog cookies, and Summer always says that Holly's the artist and Holly's super artsy, but I think there's some of that in Summer too. I think she just thinks because Holly's better at it than her, Holly's the one who's good at it, but she is also good at it. Daisy thinks that they should do undecorated bone-shaped cookies, and Summer doesn't understand the point of that because decorating is the fun part, and Daisy says, yeah, for you, and storms off. And she also called Summer bossy. Summer's mom helps Summer finish everything up, clean up, and gives Summer advice about division of labor so that people do the parts that they like to do. And they recognize that Daisy likes to do a little bit at a time, multiple days in a row, instead of just everything all at once. And I think I tell myself that I want to do a little bit at a time, but I am honestly more successful successful when it's everything at once. And I always make myself a little bit miserable and say, I'm never doing this again. That never happens. And then that night, Summer goes to bed feeling anxious about getting everything done in time, and also the status of her friendship with Daisy. Would she still want to go to camp? Would she still want to work together? Are they still friends? The next day, Summer and her mom go to gay Aunt Olivia's house, and Summer finds out that everybody saved the decorating for her because they know it's her favorite part, and I think that's very sweet of them. They hype her up and also encourage her to talk to Daisy about what she's anxious about. Daisy isn't at school on Monday, so Summer texts her, and the page shows their texts, and they both kind of text like old people. But they do both apologize. Although Daisy doesn't say sorry, she says, me too. Mrs. Kendrick, Pepper's owner, gives Summer a $50 Christmas bonus, which she's very excited about. Summer still feels kind of bad. She feels like she was really impatient with Daisy and texts her to check in to make sure that they're still on for the fair, and they are. Summer and Daisy hang out, and Daisy does actually say she's sorry. And her excuse for what happened was that she was tired and bored. Summer sets boundaries about what changes she's willing to make. And Daisy says she found out she doesn't like baking and she doesn't want to be involved in the baking, do it without her. So to get everything done this week, Daisy agrees to walk the dogs now that she knows dog behavior, and Summer's going to get all of the baking done. They decide that after the fair, they're going to go back to being more separate, but still friends. Daisy helps with packaging once everything's baked, and Summer did make some smaller unfrosted treats in addition to her classic. On the day of the fair, Dad can't find his keys, and he needs his keys because he drives a truck, and the truck is going to drive Summer's cart to the fair. And after a big scramble and deciding, you know what, maybe we just won't have it, Summer realizes that if Daisy tells Summer that Daphne might have stolen them, and Summer realizes that because Daisy can open drawers. Yeah, she can. She's a human girl. Because Daphne can open drawers, she checks the bottom drawer with her socks in it, and it's not there. And then checks it. She's like, well, if she can open drawers, maybe she can open doors. And they find everything that had been stolen in a hall closet. So they do actually get there in time with the cart and like scramble to set up. And Daisy helps Summer. I almost said Daphne. We're doing great. Helps Summer set everything up. And while not mentioned before, this is apparently another one of the kid fairs where adults can't be involved. It was just mentioned for setup. Daisy has an iPad on her table with videos of animals playing with the toys. And if we zoom in really close on this picture, I think that's Licorice. That is more grounds that this is our homegirl, Licorice. I wonder if she's a gay icon too. I actually don't know if Licorice is a girl. I was just decided she was. Coconut's gender fluid. We all know this. There's been a journey of, is Coconut a girl or a boy? Sometimes girl, sometimes boy. Let's go with gender fluid. Wait, say it like that one Chucky video. Gender fluid.
Gender fluid.
Somebody asked for the treats from one of the videos, but it's a stinky tuna treat, which she decided not to make because nobody liked having them in the kitchen. So Summer's kind of like freaked out for a second because how could she not bring it? But Daisy jumps in and says, we've already sold out of them, but if you give us your info, we can make some and drop them off. Very smart on Daisy's part. Summer appreciated it too. The woman also takes some of her Waggy Pup-Tails flyers to give to her friends. Summer says that when things are slow, both go Christmas shopping for their families. They both sell out of almost all of their inventory and then afterward go out for Chinese. That sounds like a great way to end the day. And Daisy comes with them, but there's no mention of if her mom comes too. And when Daisy bought gifts for her family, she only got gifts for her mom. So I'm guessing, so that sounds like only child, single mother. We never see her mom. I want to meet Daisy's mom. We meet every other adult. And then they go back to Summer's house and count their money, and they both made the $300 that they needed to be able to go to animal camp, and they have a little bit left over, and Summer says that the new goal she's saving up for is this like big grooming station. I'm not sure where she thinks it's going to go in her house. Unclear. But you know what? It's good to have goals, Summer. Daisy says that she'll still help with dog walking, and then they dream about their futures together. And then at the end of the book, there's a quiz about what career would be right for you. There's a cat treat recipe and then a sneak peek into the journal, which we've already read. If you want to know about that, go watch my other video about Summer McKinney. Okay, so thoughts. I think that Overall, it's fine. It comes up a lot in American Girl books about like conflict resolution with friends, which is great. That is something that like a lot of young girls struggle with. And I would say even adults too. Everybody struggles with conflict resolution. I think, it's fine. Since the release of Raquel Reyes, everybody's been really excited about her connection to Samantha. And it was definitely to bait millennials and people with nostalgia into buying Raquel Reyes stuff again. But I think Summer is fine. She's fine. She likes dogs. She likes to bake. And she wants to be able to fund what she does. I think it would be a good one for like starting a conversation with kids about setting goals and business owners and things that go into that. Which is fun because like with Kira, we already had I want to be a vet. So having a business helps me achieve my goals. It's fine. I think Summer's fine. I don't think she deserved all the hate she got for people calling her basic. I think these jammies are so cute. They make them in girl sizes, which I am like absolutely way too big for. I'm adult shaped and sized, but I do think it would be funny to match my doll. Maybe I should make them match me. I'll just get them like big sweatpants and a big sweatshirt and slippers or socks and pull the socks up over the outside of the pants and then we can match. I'll give them hoop earrings. I say as I'm not wearing hoops today. Summer's fine. She's fine. And I think that her outfits appeal to young children who are the target demographic. I think a lot of the people complaining about Summer being too basic are adult collectors. And we need to, as adult collectors, remember the space that we're in and that we're collecting things for children. So it's always going to skew young. It might skew basic. We're not the target audience, and I think we should be respectful of the people that are when we're in their spaces. So I think she's fine. She's good for kids to play with. I like her outfits. I like her collection. Her dog is really cute. Conflict resolution is important to teach. And it comes up a lot because she has to mediate between a dog and a cat and then a dog person and a cat person. She's fine. So if you've made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And since I've decided my new outro is going to be donate to PBS, this is your reminder to donate to your local PBS station. This video was brought to you by my ADHD and also the attention points from viewers like you. Thank you. Bye.